All right, today we're going to talk about what can take your business to the next level. And I'm going to discuss, first of all, I'm going to show you examples of people that are already doing it or did this already. And I'm going to share with you the 3 proven strategies that people are using, including myself. We're using this method and we're taking the business to the next level. I'm going to show you living examples, live examples of people that are doing this and using this method and absolutely killing and crushing it. I'm going to show you what it is. I'm going to show you how to do it and why we're going to do this. And then I'm talking a little bit about the backend stuff that no one talks about, because when I'm working with clients, this is one thing that's kind of slows them down or stops them from taking this next level. So I want to talk a little bit about that, but most importantly, I want to talk about is the 3 proven strategies: the what, the how, and the why. So for those of you that don't know me, the great ladies on Zoom know me, guys on YouTube, some of you know me. Like I say, I have owned my own digital agency and coaching business for the last 3 years, but I've been in the creative industry for the last 10 years. And I took on helping people to create the online courses and online programs for the last, I think, 3.5 years. I've created my own service, which is a complete done-for-you service. This is where I help clients actually physically build out their products instead of just giving them all the tips and tools and telling them how to go and create the content and all the nice stuff. I actually get my hands involved and I build it with my clients. And I offer a complete done-for-you service while I'm coaching them on how to create the offers, of creating the content. The reason why I started this, my own journey took me about 12 months to create my very first program. So my very first program, I was creating for a group of teens to help them go through stress and anxiety. And it took me like almost 12 months, excuse me, almost 12 months to try to put this concept together. It took me about 9 months just to research and to start getting the content ready and start getting the videos ready. And it took me another couple of months to try to find how to actually put this online. It was so complicated back then. Like now there's so many new platforms coming online. There's so many new offers coming online that people feel they can just jump on and do this easily and simply. You know, I've seen, I hate to mention names. There's platforms like SamCard coming online, said you can get your course up and running in a couple of hours. It can be done, but they forget that you as a person need to learn how to use the platform instead to do this. It's okay for them to say this, but you as a new person that needs to learn how to use the platform, learn how to use their platforms and how it works. It takes us time to understand this. And this is where what really struggled with. Like say, I wasn't tech savvy before, now I am. So it took me a long time to come around that. In my own self, my personal self, I've invested about 80,000 so far, working with personal development people, working with content people, working with people that are already in this industry. I've worked with some really good names in the industry that helped me and taught me and showed me the way forward. And this is what I'm teaching you guys now. So at the moment, I'm working with a lot of 6- and 7-figure coaches. And that's how I know the strategy about to teach you it's working. Because for some of them, they started out from ground zero. They came with me as a new person, and now they're actually hitting the 6-7 mark. It's phenomenal to see how they're doing this. And like I say, we're doing the exact same thing in my own business, and we on that way to take it down as well. So what does it mean going to the next level? What does it mean to you guys? And feel free to unmute yourselves and answer the question. You know, don't hesitate. What does it mean to go to the next level for you guys?
For me, going to the next level of my business is having, gosh, well, I would say that's not the next level. It's like several levels. It's having 100K months. That's several levels.
What about yourself, Heather?
Well, mine would be just to be able to how to educate somebody, even myself, for other people to be able to get to that point. And I think that for me would mean way more.
Okay. Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you.
All right. So, of course, when people say taking a business to the next level, like say, Michelle, the very first thing you thought about was income, was money. And that's where all of us come from. But when I was working with my own clients and working around and watching some of the big names do this, money wasn't the driving factor. Growth wasn't the driving factor, money wasn't the driving factor, income wasn't the driving factor. And like I say, it's not as hard and difficult as you think it is. It's actually very doable. what everybody wants. So this was my purpose, and my passion was the freedom. I wanted more free time, so that's why I was taking the business to the next level. The money will come when I serve properly, but I wanted more free time in my business. I can say earning money is, of course, is what we all want, but what we really, really want. If you ask yourself what you want to do with the money, once you get the money, what you can do with it. You want to spend more time with the family. You want to create more time, freedom for yourself. You want to travel more. You want to take care of your health. You want to just live a better life and happier life. So that's why we say, okay, when we say talk about going next level, the very first thing is money, because we need money to do all this stuff. But what's the purpose? What's the driving factor behind this? For me, it's time freedom. That's all I want. Not to say I want to be lazy and work less and earn more. That's not the point. But I want to help more people. That's my entire purpose. I want to try to help more people. And like say, the biggest thing that people don't think about is why. Why do I do this? Something in you tells you that you need to work harder, or you need to work a lot more longer hours in your business to grow to the next level, to become the new business. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be something simple. And I'll show you the 3 simple strategies here today that will show you how to take a business to the next level with ease. It's not as hard. So we all come from this background of lack and limitations. And when thinking about taking to the next level, we'll try to talk ourselves out of it, saying we're comfortable with where we are. I'm quite okay. I'm getting along. I don't want to rock the boat. If it's not broken, why fix it? All those phrases come to mind, and that's coming from a place where you just don't understand what you're imposing on yourself. You're imposing lack and limitations on where you can go and what you can do with the information we have. And especially us as coaches, we want to help more people, but we're not helping anybody if we're not helping ourselves first. We can't help more people. So I'm going to show you some live examples. For some of you will notice these people, some of you won't. So this is my mentor, Bob Proctor. Like say, if you don't know him, he was from the movie Secrets. He's a leader in personal development. Michelle will know him very well. He created multiple courses, multiple programs, group coaching programs, high ticket offer. And his high ticket offer, he was charging $500,000 plus for a person to talk to him. He's written multiple books, and he was the founder of the PGI Consultants, which there's probably 2,500, 3,000 consultants around the world at the moment. If I'm wrong, Michelle, just let me know. But that's the last figure I got from Doug. There's probably close to 3,000 consultants. But let's say he built his business from scratch as well, and he took it to the next level by what steps he took, or what he's doing, what steps I'm going to show you as well. So the next person I'm going to talk about is Heather. You'll know these guys. You were there with them, Dean and Tony. These guys are rocking this industry, but they also started out the same way. They are leaders in the self-education industry at the moment. They founded Masterminds. Tony and Dean founded Masterminds, and they have multiple courses, multiple programs, group coaching programs. And of course, I think they have the high ticket offer. I know Tony does, I'm not sure Dean, but they have a high ticket offer that they work with clients with. And of course, they've got multiple books as well with them. Now, this guy, a lot of you know him. His name is Ted McGrath. He's one of my coaches that coached me at my time. He has got an industry that helps people to take the message to millions. So he teaches people how to create the online courses, online programs, like he did for me, and how to reach more people with this. He's one of the leaders in the self-education industry. Like I say, a lot of people won't know of him unless you really in the industry deep. He founded a entire movement called Message to Millions, where he concentrates on helping people to take their knowledge to the next level. Likewise, I've enrolled in his multiple programs, multiple courses, and his high ticket offer. So that's why I know him so well and know exactly what he's doing and what's he about and how he's driving his business. So by talking to him, by studying him and learning from all these 3 people so far, I found there was something in common. So for those that know me, this is my favorite person. This is my partner. And the reason why I brought to bringing out into this is because I'm getting to see this up front, close and personal. I'm seeing this hands-on, how she's taking her business to the next level. Like when she started off in her coaching business, she was at 20,000 and 50,000 and 60,000. Within 1 year, she grew a business to over $1 million, doing the same thing I'm teaching you today. It's not about just working hard all the time. Now she works less hours. I've seen it myself. That's what I'm bringing online. She works less, but she's making an impact. She's teaching so many people. She's impacting more lives. And of course, she's got the same. She's got courses. She's got a group coaching program, same as Michelle will have. And she's got a high ticket offer. And she just launched a mastermind program that she's working one-to-one with just high-end clients. And that one is phenomenal. And then this lady, Kathleen, Michelle, you'll know her, a lot of people won't know her, but like she's the queen of manifestation. Now, thankfully, because of certain contacts, I had a chance to talk to this lady and ask her how she jumped her business. She jumped her business in 2.5 years to 20 million. 20 million in 2.5 years. While the rest of the guys, like say Barb, Dean, and these guys, they took probably about 55 years, 65 years. Dean and Tony combined 55 years. Ted took about 10 years. Ava took about, she's on the way up there. She's 2.5 years so far. This lady did 20 million in 2.5 years. And that's the latest figure she gave us. All because she has certain things in the business that's allowing her to increase, to take the business to the next level. You know, she's got multiple courses, she's got multiple programs, and she's got a high ticket offer. And that's how she's scaling up her business. She's impacting more lives. So what all of them have in common, I've probably said this a few times. So what's happening at the moment? As coaches, this is where we feel where we are at the moment. We're on a lifeboat and we're trying to save one client at a time. This is our group coaching program. We call it one-to-one. This is where clients are. We're ignoring there's so many people out there that are in trouble. They are drowning. They're looking for your help, looking for a solution. But we are so fixed on just saving that one person, one at a time, through a one-to-one always. And we're only onboarding a few. It's so much time, energy, effort that we're spending on just one person, bringing them in, throwing out the line, and bringing them in, throwing out the line, just one at a time, while ignoring all the other ones out there that are really struggling. Some of them drowning, some of them you won't even know. So this is why I said, when I was creating the business, when I'm taking the business to the next level, it wasn't about the income, it was about the freedom, but it was about impacting people as well. Imagine somebody comes up to you and tells you, you know, I really need your help with what you got. And you as a coach know you really want to help them, and you blurt out, the one-to-one offer is available, you can jump on and sign away, and I'll tell you, I don't have the investment, I don't have the time. Are you going to turn me away? Are you going to tell me to go to another coach? You know, it's just, it makes me feel bad when I don't have something I can support somebody with. You know, so it's all these people here I watch out for and think about. And that's why I'm taking the business to the next level. So the one-to-one coaching, I started off one-to-one coaching, which I love, still do. I still do a lot of one-to-one coaching. But it's these people I'm keeping an eye on now. This is who I'm looking for, and this is who I'm trying to help go to the next level. So the 3 proven methods that was common amongst everybody and still common amongst all successful coaches at the moment, and you'll notice yourself, is your self-study programs, your group coaching programs, and your high ticket offer. Those are the 3 proven methods that are taking all these coaches to the next level. And I know this because I've worked with them, I'm seeing them, and I'm studying them, and I'm noticing that these have a common pattern. I implemented the same thing in my business, and I can see why it's working. I get to talk to more people, I get to impact more people, and I get to forget the income side of it. Income will come because of service I'm providing, but I've got something in place that no client can come to me and say, I can't support you. I've got something in place that can support them all at the moment. When you are creating your coaching business, guaranteed you should have a blueprint or a step-by-step process that you help the clients. You know, even if you do one-to-one coaching, if you're a coach in any given time, you should have a blueprint that you own, that you use to teach people on a one-to-one. You know, you have to have this. This is base of any coach. You can't just coach somebody based on somebody else's program or content. It's something that you need to have yourself, that is said, I use this blueprint, and this is what changed my life, and this is what I'm going to share with you today. You know, and of course, bring in the other ones, like say, bring in the other content to back up your own content, you know, bringing other people behind it to show there's more behind it. But you should have your own blueprint, your own step-by-step guides to say, okay, this is how I'm going to help you, and this is how I'm going to evolve, and this is how I'm going to make changes in your life, because this is what I did in my own life. So you have to have that blueprint. So very quickly, there's a difference between an online course and an online program. An online course is something very short, it's very simple. It can be done in a couple of days or a couple of hours. So that's key to when you're thinking about creating online courses and online programs. An online course is very short. It's something mini. You know, it's very, it's something that has value, but doesn't take much time for a client to use. and is typically sold at a lower price. A group coaching program, for those of you in the industry, a group coaching program, this is where you bring a group of people together and you coach them in one session. This is where you spend your time with them. So you spend either 1 week, 1 day a week with them, or 1 day a month with them, depending on how you're structuring your business. But this is where you work with clients, in a group of clients in a community, working with them on one-to-one. It's typically sold, or you sell this at a higher level because you're giving your time and giving your value in there. So I'll go more in detail about these ones now. So a self-study program, be it videos, worksheets, and guides, there is no involvement for you. So when you're putting together an automated self-study program, all you need to do is have probably 5 or 6 very short lessons at the most, nothing more than that. Clients want to use this as an introduction to themselves, to learn what you're teaching, to understand who you are and what you do and what you offer. So most times I've noticed my own self-study program that I use, that I sell, people just want to get a feel for me and understand what I do. So that's why I give out this tool as when I'm onboarding them or bring them online. I use this as a lead magnet. Mostly I use it just to onboard new people, or use it as a lead magnet. It's of a lower value. And I use it as a call to action at the end of a webinar or of a meeting. I use it as a call to action. Okay, then the next one I'm going to talk to you about is your group coaching program. Now, the group coaching program, these are typically between 5 to 10 lessons long, nothing more than that. Because remember, for every one lesson, you're either going to take a week to teach them or let them study this program. So you don't want to run a program that's too long or too short as well. If it's too short, it becomes an online course. If it's too long, they're going to get overwhelmed and fall away. So you want to have something that's doable. So typically between 5 to 10 lessons, I found works the best in the industry, and talking to all the leaders at the moment. So in other words, it's between 5 weeks to 10 weeks, or 5 months to 10 months. That's how they're working it. But mostly it falls weeks. The longest they push it out is 16 weeks. And that seems to be the comfort zone. Beyond 16 weeks, it's just way too long. The comfort zone at the moment is 6 to 8 weeks. So your group coaching program is where you can invite people at the start of the month or the end of the month to join you in a private group where you're going to actually teach them and support them. So you're going to give them access to the lessons that you're going to teach them. Let them go self-study this at home or on their own time, and then join them on a Q&A session once a week where you're going to talk to them about this, where you're going to deep dive into a topic, where you're going to help them and give them support on Q&A or any support they need on that lesson learned. You're not going to talk about the whole program in one. So on the first lesson, if you're talking about mindset or money, you're just going to talk about that one. That's the lesson they're going to study for that week, and you're going to go on a live call with them and give them that support and deep dive into that subject. The entire idea behind a group coaching program is for you to make sure that your clients get the results that you want, and for your clients to have a community to talk to. Because sometimes what you don't teach or they might miss with you, they might learn from somebody else. So it's always key to make sure that you have somebody or have a small group of people. If you're going to have a very big group in a coaching program, it takes away the one-to-one communication. So we recommend probably 10 to 15 at the most. You can always open new seats and bring in new groups in. But if you really want to go push it around 50 or 60, then you need to be long in this game, understand exactly how you get your clients' results. You don't want them to become just another name. You want to actually get to know them and understand what you're teaching them, understand what the situation is and what results you're going to give them. And of course, this one's typically sold at a higher price than your self-study program. And of course, the big one is your high ticket offer. Now, this one is sold as part of this is your one-to-one service. Now, there's a difference between your coaching, when you first start coaching, and your high ticket offer. When you first start coaching, it's just you have your own blueprint or your own step-by-step guide that you use to coach. You don't give any lessons, you're not giving any recordings, you're just coaching them live on a Zoom session or on a one-to-one. When you're creating a high ticket offer, you need to have something tangible to give to them. So that's why you give them a lesson, you give them an entire program that they're going to study with you. So every week you let them go and watch the lesson, and every week you give them the deep dive support. Now, when I say deep dive, you're really going to break this down for them. You're really going to give them all the support you can, because this client has chosen to work with you on a one-to-one because they probably have a different situation or have a different challenge, and they feel that working with you can take them there. So typically, when you're working with somebody on a one-to-one, you give them support. And most times that high ticket offer can take up to 12 months because it's that in-depth. It's not something that's short and just quick results and walk away. You work with your client to get the results, and you keep pushing past that to make sure that they actually achieve the goal they set out to. And how you can do that is you can once a week, you can have a half an hour or an hour Q&A with them again. You can give them access to your private chat, like say a WhatsApp group or a Telegram group or email, whatever way you feel that's not going to invade your privacy, but they have the support. So I've got clients that will text me all hours of the day and say, okay, I'm having a challenge in this section. What can I do, or how can I help you? And that's part of my high ticket offer. So I actually work with them on a one-to-one, but have support for them. They're paying for the support. And this is the value I promise I would give to them. So if you're going to take somebody on a high ticket offer, understand that it requires some of your time, nothing more than an hour. I spend nothing more than an hour a week with my clients. It's either 20 minutes or half an hour sometimes, or unless they've got a really big challenge, then I'll spend an hour with them on a call. But it's short, 20-minute sessions, 10-minute sessions. They just want to navigate through the challenges they're having at that time. Of course, once a week, I have a full in-depth conversation with them to make sure they are where they are and they're reaching the targets. And of course, this one, because I take so few clients on this one, I generally charge a lot higher. And the reason why I charge higher is not because there's value, because this is going to last sometimes after 12 months. So take the value of what you're giving over the 12-month period and see what's at what to you and what's your client as well. So don't undervalue yourself as well. And don't be afraid to charge too much, and don't undercharge yourself. Know your value and know what you're giving is worth, and you're going to get them results. So that's your high ticket offer. So there's difference between a high ticket offer and your normal group coaching or your normal one-to-one coaching. Your high ticket offer is where you really, really work with the client and make sure they get the result they want. If not, you're going to keep working with them until you get the result. Well, that's a promise we're gonna make. So the why again. So once you create these three, you one-to-one offer, your group coaching, your high ticket, you can see for yourself, you're actually saving more lines. You're putting more lines out in the water, as I like to say. You're throwing more lifelines out there, and I'm helping more people. And this is what you're going to do. This is the three ways you're going to do it. You're going to try to impact more people. By doing this, you're also creating something called what's next in your business. So if you're working with a client on a one-to-one coaching at the moment, they'll want to know at some point when they finish the one-to-one, what's next in your business? What can they learn from you more? What more can they do with you? And this is where you can introduce them to your new or existing group coaching offer, which is slightly different from your one-to-one. And let them go into this community and learn as well. So as a coach, you eventually, with time, you're going to have multiple programs, multiple courses that people will have access to. So for now, I'm just talking about one, but as time goes, you're going to have the what's next in your business. So once you finish with something, you should have something else lined up for them. And this is why people call this the what's next, or in any which way. If someone works, even uses your high ticket offer, they like what you do, got the results, and they want to learn more with you. So you can always go backwards and tell them, okay, just join my group, and this is what I'm teaching in that group. Or let's go into self-study program. I've got a self-study program, go and get the self-study program. And this is where you're going to see your clients benefit from what's next in your business, and benefit from growing your business, adding more into your business. So I'm giving you an example of a coach that I've been working with. She started off the entire business with a one-to-one. She was having 10 clients a month, and she was charging $1,000 for her service. Now, if you notice, she was giving a lot of her time away. Of course, she had the income, but a service or value, she didn't have a proper kind of a structure in place or a proper offer in place. She was just coaching people every week on a live call, one-to-one, and eventually she was coaching 5 clients per day over 5 days. She was working probably, I don't know, she's up to 12 hours per day to try to work with all these clients she was having, and she was maxing out. She couldn't push anymore. She was getting tired, frustrated. She was missing all her family. She couldn't go out for weekends because she was just prepping for the next one. She only had her Sundays to herself. And she hit a threshold in the income, and she couldn't take it no further because she was exhausted herself, and she exhausted her business. We created for her the same 3 strategies. the self-study program, the group coaching, the high tickets. So what we noticed was after her first, I think it was 3 months, she was charging $500 for her self-study program, and she was working with 20 clients per month. She was charging 1.5 for her group coaching program, and she had not 20 clients a month. And then she's working with 10 clients only for $2K for her high ticket offer. So her high ticket offer was only 8 weeks. So that's why she was taking on so many at a time. But at the end of it, instead of earning the 10,000, she was up to, I think it was 60,000 a month already. In 3 months, she jumped it that quick. And like I say, I've seen this happen in my own house with my own partner, Ava, she's doing as well. And I've seen how quickly this jumps. I'm doing it myself. I created 3 different, and I'll show you along the way, 3 different offers like this. And it's giving me less time, and it's increasing the income, and the business is growing gradually on its own. So how do we do this? Now, when I spoke about having your one-on-one offer that you're using with your coaches already or your clients already, so I'm assuming that you have something written down, or you have a blueprint that you give to your clients when they're starting up with you. If not, you should have one. Even if it's a small document that you pass on to your clients, that please read this guide because this is what we're going to work with. So when you're creating your self-study courses, this is the exact contents that you use in your one-to-one already that you're going to use in your self-study courses, the exact same content. All we're going to do there is create short videos between 5 to 6 minutes, couple lessons, and this is what you use as a self-study course. It's the let's say not the beginners, but the basics you're going to give in this self-study program, so they don't get overwhelmed and they achieve A results at the end of it. Look, if somebody wants to achieve the max results, of course they'll come to you and tell you, okay, I want to work you one-to-one or something higher. When you're purchasing a self-study program at a value of, say, of $97 to $200, you know the content there has value, but it can be a lot bigger. So you're using the same content that you use here to create your own self-study courses. Now, when creating the group coaching program, all you're doing is taking the same content and starting this as a base, and then you add more. So you don't have to create multiple content, not creating a lot of content. All you're doing is adding 3 or 4 more lessons to your self-study program. And this is how you're going to coach people in a group session. Same thing with a high ticket offer. You're going to start your self-study course or your one-to-one coaching, and you're going to move that into your high ticket offer and add in your bonuses, add in more lessons, and deep dive into more subjects. And this becomes your high ticket offer. So when somebody joins you and say, okay, today I'm going to enroll in your group coaching program, they're not going to worry about your self-study course because this is what they want. So a lot of people get confused and say, if I'm going to use the same content across all 3, won't people know this? The person will choose one offer only. They're not going to choose all 3. If they'll choose all 3, good luck to them. But mostly you're going to choose one. They're either going to choose to self-study themselves because for one, they don't have the time, or they don't have the investments, or they just want to get to know what you can do and achieve a result in a short given time. And that's the self-study program. The same content you're moving across into your group coaching program. So you don't have to create new content and create a whole new lessons, but you do have to add on. And you can add on very easy stuff. You can add on bonus Q&A sessions. You can add on some bonus materials or another lesson just to make sure that the group coaching program has a different value or different lessons from the other one. But you're using this as a base. So it's nothing different that you have to do, or you don't have to create complete new content. Same thing in your high ticket offer, just add in bonus lessons, Q&A lessons, or you can even use third parties and come in here. So if you have, let's say, a YouTube clip that you want them to use for meditation, or you want them to use for an affirmation, if you're a mindset coach, you add this as part of your high ticket offer. This is what you're going to give to a client as soon as they start working with you in any of these offers. So a client comes to me and says, okay, I'm taking you on a group coaching program today. They've got the same basis here. I add on more as I go, and each lesson takes me a week to go cover with them in depth. Same thing with your high ticket. So all you're doing is creating very little content from one to the other. So you're not rewriting you don't have to create 3 different types of content. So this is where a lot of coaches say, it takes a lot of work to have all three in place. It doesn't. It's the same content across all three. Any questions on that one? Go on. Jamie, if you could have us go.
So I'm just trying to formulate it in my mind. So I was thinking my content is a lot more lessons than that, because I find that people, well, because I'm teaching something that's rather technical, so people have a hard time learning it fast. So I have a lot of, I'm developing it, but I have a lot of lessons right now. And so I broke it down into a basic program. So
Yeah.
because, and then the basic program actually has 43 lessons, but it's still basic. And then I can multiply that by another, okay, let's say it takes them a semester to do the basic.
So give me an example of your basic lesson. What's your basic lesson?
Okay, right. What I'm doing right now, it's not coaching, but so I'm teaching music. So I just came up with a great idea that I thought would be useful. When you go to college and you want to major in music, you have to take a placement test. And if you, after they accept you, you take this placement test so they see which class to place you in. And if you cannot even place into the first year college level, you take a remedial course.
Yeah.
So I'm making lessons on to pass the remedial and not have to do the remedial course, so that you can enter before you go to college. You can enter right into the first year.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So then that's like, maybe if you study pretty hard and you do the 43 lessons, you'll go right into there. Plus you'll be a tiny bit ahead, even tiny bit, like you're well into the first year. So then if you multiply that by, I can add 5 more semesters to that.
Yeah.
So, but still the first one has 43 lessons. But the reason is because I found that I want to gear it toward the slowest learner, so that the fast learners could go through it quickly, but the slow learners will have it broken down into many steps. That's why there's many lessons, because I really broke it down. Like, it could be one little topic, but I might have several lessons on it, and they're short and easy, so it's easy to follow. So I'm just looking at your diagram and I'm like, 5 lessons. I have like 43 on the most basic. So I don't know. Those are just my
Well,
thoughts.
see, yeah, when it comes to teaching something of technical skill, of course, it will determine on what content you need to create. Like, say 43 lessons for something to take, depending on how long each lesson is. So how long is your lessons, Jamie?
You mean for the person to do the video?
No,
And
how long is each lesson?
well, right now I'm doing the one-on-one, and then I'm going to make them into videos. So the one-on-one is like 15 or 20 or 25 minutes.
Okay, so what you could do there is have a basic that you use as a self-study. Like, say 43 lessons for somebody to go through by themselves. The chances is, or the difficulty they might have is, by a certain time or certain period, they might fall off the wagon or stop, because it's too much information for them.
But I had an idea, see, because I make them very little information, and then I'll be like very encouraging, like, okay, now you try it. Okay, here's an example. Guess what the answer is? And then I'll give the answer. So it's like some encouragement in there,
Okay, well, look, if that's what you feel like could work for you, go ahead. Depending on you know the industry, you're working with students already, so you know what's best for them.
But should I do that? Works better, I think, with video and with high ticket, like video and help, or with the group. So with the
With the
pure
group.
with the pure self-study, should I make it like phase 1, phase 2?
I would go, if you, let's say the self-study cost side of it, I would just go the absolute basics they need to learn. Probably the first 10 lessons or first 10 lessons at the most.
So if my goal is to make them pass a remedial course, how would I label it if it takes 43 lessons?
So break the 43 lessons down into different courses. But sometimes the one that's already has the basics, they don't need to go and learn the basics again. They want to learn the next level. So I know by working with you, you're either teaching them to play the piano, play the violin, or one of the instruments. So if you work with them on that level, keep the self-study program to people that need the absolute basics.
Oh, okay. But yeah, the thing is, I guess I wanted to do this college entrance thing.
You can still do it, but let's say keep the self-study program to the. You want to give them something very short result very quickly. So maybe you teach them one thing only in the 5 lessons or 6 lessons that they can use, and invite them for the 43 to go into the group coaching program where they have your full support with you. So you know exactly what progress they're making along the way. If they're going to try an attempt to do 43 lessons by themselves, they definitely, as much as we would love to say, we'll encourage them along the way on a self-study program, they're going to fall off the wagon. They're going to give up. So that's why try to keep your self-study courses, break your 43 lessons down and say, okay, let's group it into basics, a little bit more advanced and an advanced side of it, and then finish off your program. And that's the one you're going to do in your group coaching, your high ticket. But your self-study, just give them the absolute basics to start with and say, once they, look, you can have multiple self-study courses. You can take the 43 lessons and break it down into, let's say, 4 different programs or 4 different courses and tell them, okay, here's the first one, finish the first one. Once you're happy with the first one, get the next one, and then get the next one, and then get the next one. So they keep growing themselves at their own pace, and you have that continuation going on. But like I said, you tell them, okay, here's a course that you can self-study and has 43 lessons, and you open up that, like say, wow, that's a lot for me to. They don't understand. They won't see that each lesson is probably 2 or 3 minutes long. They're just going to look at the content and say, that's a lot for me to look into myself.
So would you do could I do it as an introduction?
Yes.
And then say, if you want to go further.
Yeah, remember, so your self-study course.
I think I'm just totally.
No, your self-study program is your value offer. This is where what you're using as your entry level or your low ticket items. So if somebody says, okay, I need to pass my remedial to get into college. So you tell them, okay, here's a self-study program. Go and try it and see what I do and what I teach. It has 5 lessons and you understand how it works and what I can do for you. Once they
Okay, I know the problem. I think I'm trying to make a self-study course where they don't need me, but I think they might need me, but that's okay. Like, I'm worried too much about the people that might have trouble learning, but that's a one-on-one thing.
That's a one-on-one thing. This is where you
not worried about that. Just
now, when you're creating that 43 lessons, like I said, you're going to use the 43 lessons in here, either your high ticket, your group coaching. This is where you're going to either work with, say, 10 students. That's 10 students per week. That's 1 hour a week with students that say that's 10 hours there. And so 11 hours between those both, teaching the exact same 43 lessons. So you're not giving much time away and not using all your time. You're just using 11 hours to 12 hours per week, depending on how many high ticket or one-to-one clients you want to work with, and group coaching. So the ones that take the self-study program, of course, move them onto the group coaching program automatically. Once they finish that, tell them, here's your upgrade, and let's join me on group coaching, or let's join me on a one-to-one.
And do you advertise the upselling, the next level up, within the course or on your marketing web page?
Both. At the end of any one, you always say, okay, once you finish this is your what's next. You can join me on a group coaching program where I'll deep dive with your community of people, and I'll teach you all 43, how many lessons you want to go. Or you can tell them, if you feel you want to work in a one-to-one, you can join my one-to-one offer, and I'll work with you in a one-to-one to really get your result you need before you get in there. So at each given point, you upsell to the next one. Even when you selling your program as part of marketing, you always have the what's next in there. So you can always display all 3 onto your website, on your landing pages, or anywhere in marketing, and let them know that you have the what's next. Let them choose what's best for them. Some of them that say, I don't know who this person is, I don't know what I need to learn. let me try her self-study course for a lower value. Once they get to know you and get to understand how you teach and how you work, they'll say, all right, I'm going to jump. Am I going to work with you in group coaching or the high tickets? I'm ready. Let's do this. You know, it's a way for people to get to know you and how you teach and what kind of person you are as well, you know, before taking on the big amounts. Michelle, you had a question?
Yeah, I have one question. Can you explain to me the one-on-one and the high ticket? Is it one and the same?
No. So when you're coaching somebody at the moment, your one-on-one and high ticket is the same because your high ticket offer is one-on-one. But what I'm saying is, the reason why I say most coaches would say I have a one-on-one offer is they jump on a call with a client, but they don't actually give them anything tangible to walk away with. You know, so you have your own structure. You either got down on a Word document or a PDF, and you're reading it yourself and say, okay, this is what I'm going to teach you for this week, and next week we're going to go through this, and you're doing this live. So when you're working with a high ticket offer, so I know yourself, you're working with PGI, like say, once you enroll in that program, you get the entire access to TAR. You know, whether you choose to teach them in a group or you choose to teach an individual, but you're giving them full access to a program that they can go and learn, and you join them on a call once a week and you talk to them. So if you're doing, like say, if you do TAR on a high ticket offer, as a high ticket offer, you'll still give them access to the full program, but once a week, you're going to have a call with them and you're going to deep dive into lesson 1, goal setting, lesson 2, lesson 3. You're going to actually deep dive into that. Whereas a group coach.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
So let's take, for example, actually I have 2 questions here. So let's say if we started with, because you're saying that the content is the same all across.
Yeah.
So obviously the first thing would be if I created the content and I'm selling the self-study course, because that's on their own, they're doing that. While I'm selling that, I'm not really creating so much with a group coaching program. All I'm doing is just probably creating like another like landing page or fun or whatever for it and just add into that what it is.
Exactly.
But then, so the only thing that's different from the group coaching and the high ticket is just the support that you're receiving.
Correct. So your high tickets, your group coaching program, support you're giving there is in a group. So you're giving support to 20 people at a time. So when you're on a group coaching call, you can never, look, everybody will have their own challenges. So you can only give a general solution to a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on a high ticket offer, you're giving an individual solution to their problem. So if somebody comes to you in a group coaching program and you teach someone, let's say to bake a cake, for example, I'm going to say this, you know, all you can do is tell them the general how to do it and how to achieve the results. You know, add ingredients, you put it in the oven, you bake a cake and whatever. But if you work in something in a high ticket, this person could be a vegan, could be a celiac, could be whatever. So you're addressing their specific problems on the high ticket. But it's the same content. The base is the same content you're using. So you're passing on your teaching or your program or your lessons on the group coaching program, let them go and self-study. You jump on a call with them and they're going to raise their hand and say, you know what, Michelle, I went to lesson 2 and I have this problem. How can you help me? You know, what can I do? And you'll answer the question live. So you're giving the same support that you would on a one-to-one on a high ticket order. You're giving in the group. You're giving as much value as you can, but you can't be giving solutions to everybody all at once because each one's problem is different. You know, so, and the good part about working in the group coaching side of it, sometimes they might have a question that somebody else will ask and you'll answer.
Okay, so and the other one, the last one, on the self-study, you said it's recommended that 5 to 6 lessons, short lessons? Short
lessons, yeah. The reason why I say 5 to 6, okay, so the ones I've taken with Ted and most of the guys, when I say self-study, you want someone, when they open up your content or open up your program, they're looking at most is looking at about 5 or 6 lessons. You can go up to 10, but when you see something 5 or 6 lessons, you automatically think, okay, I can do this. I can concentrate for 5 or 6 lessons. I can do this. And if they can teach me something in 5 or 6 lessons that can get me results, then imagine what they can do in a bigger program or in a high ticket offer. So you want to take
like getting them like a teaser, an appetizer.
Exactly. Get them to understand let's say, who you are, what are you about, and what do you teach. So, example, if you are teaching, I'm going to say, Michelle, because you understand this, if you're going to teach something mindset or self-image, you're going to create probably 5 or 6 lessons based on that there. And when you're moving into group coaching, you're going to move all this across there and keep adding more towards your program. So if you're thinking of, let's say, I'm going to use TRR, for example. Apologies to guys on where we got no Peter there. So imagine this is just the first 5 lessons in TRR. You know, that's what you're giving away.
Mm-hmm.
When you're going to a group coaching program, you're going to give them the full program on this one. So the first one, you probably going to talk to them about the goals, the ABCs of goals.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same content that's going across in the group coaching program. And you're just adding more lessons to it. And the same thing, you're going to start off with the high ticket offer. When someone first joins you as a high ticket offer, the very first things you're going to teach them is the ABCs of goal setting. So it's the same content running across. You don't have to rewrite an entire new program for group coaching or for your high ticket offer. You don't have to rewrite. You use the same thing as your base. So this is why I say when you're teaching one-to-one, you should have a blueprint that you're using already. And it's from that blueprint you can create your self-study courses, your group coaching, and your high ticket. Makes sense? When it doesn't tell me, I'll say it again.
No. It makes sense. You know, it's just my conscious mind is chattering about, oh my goodness, so what if they get to the high ticket and they're like, but I just had this content before, like, what am I paying for? But it's the
like
time and the experience of the coach that you're getting.
Exactly. That's why I say when you're creating a self-study course, try and keep it short and simple, because when you go into the what's next, that's where you charge your value, your work, and you give them the value and your work in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either choose this to go into, let's say, short 5 to 10 minutes lessons, and in here you're going to use the exact same things. So these 5 or 10 minute lessons might squeeze into 2 lessons here, and then you keep adding new ones.
So you just elaborate more. The videos are a little bit longer.
It's called deep diving. This is where you're going to deep dive. It's the same content. It's the same videos you drag across. So when I'm creating for clients, when I'm working with clients, and I'm going across 3 different ways, it's the same videos I'm using. So she'll record a video for 10 to 15 minutes, and the same video I'll use to start off all her services. And then I'll ask, okay, I need more content for your group coaching program and your high ticket offer. What have you got for me? Or what can you add on? And we'll add on bonus, we'll add on Q&A sessions, we'll add on new material, or let's say from third party, we'll bring them into the place, but your base is here. You don't have to start from scratch again. Now, when you start to grow your business phenomenally, or once you start growing to the next level, like Kathleen does, you can bring on new programs every single time and keep adding. So that people that finish this offer will come back and say, what's next? And you can say, okay, let's go back to group coaching. Here's a new one. So you're keeping them in your community. It's easier to sell to people that are already in your community than to sell to new people, always. But when you're just starting out to go to the next level, this is a simple way to do it. One content across 3 different ways.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No, we're all good on YouTube as well. All right, so this is live examples. This is my own. So I've got a very low ticket offer, which is the self-study program, 197 euros. This is not my group coach. This is my second level of my self-study program. This is second level now. So I've got 2 levels of self-study. One is very basic, and I got one a little bit more in-depth. So this one is only about 4 lessons long. This one is 10 lessons long. But it's the same content across both. This is my group coaching side of it. So I'm using this lesson that I got in here to teach the exact same lessons in a group level. So I haven't created new content. I'm just adding on to this one, giving them support on a one-to-one and answering the questions and going through each lesson in 10 weeks with them. So I haven't changed all the content. So I've got 3. That 3 is still part of here, and I added on to make it 10. This 10, I got it in here, and it's my service and support that's making the difference and giving the value. So you'll notice there's a massive price hike on this one, because this one has a very special kind of end process to it. So when I finish working with the client to tell them how to create the courses, I actually build it for them, include it in the service. That's why there's such a big jump in price. So if you're looking at a self-study at 500 and suddenly I'm charging 2,000, it's because I'm giving you the finished product for you. So here I'm teaching them how to create the content. Here I'm teaching them how to create the content 3 different ways, like how I'm doing now. And here I'm doing it in a group session, one call a week, answering the questions and working with them in a group level to create the program and content. And then after a certain point, they pass all the information to me and I take it over as a full service. Okay, so that's different. That's what I do differently. So, and now I've got the 4th way of doing it as well. So my high ticket has just launched my high ticket. Oh, it's here. I just launched my high ticket where I'm working with a client on a one-to-one. A client that says, okay, I want something specifically personally designed. I've got this challenge and I really want to work with somebody to bring out the best content I can. And I can't ask these questions in a group side of it because it's personal and it's private. And I don't want people to hear about this now. So this is where the high ticket comes in. So I'm using the same content all the way through. I'm just adding as I go. So I hope that makes it a little bit more clear. So, and it works across any. So this is one of the fitness trainers we start. She recorded, I think about 25 lessons. We built it in 3 different ways for her as well. We got an online version. We got our members that are physically in her gym that she'll give access to the online program. And this is people very short. She's taken the first 5 lessons and used that as a self-study program. So we've taken it 3 ways for her. We've created 2 different plans for people as well. People that are just starting out, or people want her support, which means she's adding on dietary plans or she's adding on nutrition plans to it, but she's got it in 3 different ways. Same content. This is one of the PGI consultants, or she's done the same thing as well. We built a self-study program for her, which she charges about 500, and then we built in a group coaching program, which she charges 850, and then she's got the high ticket, offering the same thing. It's the same content we're running across all 3. So I'm trying to drive the point. You don't have to create new content. You just keep adding content to each level. That's all you need to keep doing. Nobody at the start is going to invest in all 3, like I said. So take that fear out of your mind when you think that somebody's going to catch you and say, oh, but I already learned this in your self-study program. Why I'm going to use it in the group coaching program? No one's going to ever do that. Until they say, okay, Michelle, I've taken your self-study program. I want to take on the next level. Tell them we're going to go through the basics again in the group coaching program, or we're going to go the basics again in this one-to-one, and we're going to learn more. I'm going to deep dive in it. So in here, when you're talking about, like I said, I'm going to teach you how to set your goals. They're going to learn the basics of you here. When you delivering the same lesson in your group coaching program, you're going to give them the basics again, but you're going to explain them how to use it. You're going to explain to them in depth how to use this content or how to use the teachings to create the goals. Same thing in the one-to-one. And then as time goes, you can start building out new programs and new offers to take them to the what's next level. But when you're starting out this same content, 3 different ways. So this part, a lot of people have challenged it, so I thought I'll talk to you guys about it. When you're creating your online courses and your online programs, always think about where you want to host it, where you want to put your program on. There's multiple platforms. There's full-on WordPress websites, there's Kajabi, ThinkPic, Podia, there's Graphy, there's so many different platforms. So think about what platform you're going to use to host your program as well, because think about your client's use of it, think about your own use, your own cost, and what the client experience is going to be. Of course, think about everything else that goes with your process of scaling up your business. Think about the landing pages that you'll need to sell your courses on, creating your content. Think about how you're going to edit your videos, because you're required to edit your videos. You can't just go, a Zoom call and then place each one into you think about editing. Think about adding workbooks and work guides, worksheets, because this adds value to your program. Think about how your clients are going to pay, because you need to collect money and they need to find a way to pay. Sales funnels and websites. Now, sales funnels is the thing that will help you to sell, either automatically or drive them towards you on a call or to book a session with you. So sales funnel, this is where your self-study programs can come into handy, because when you're creating a sales funnel, you can create lead magnets in a sales funnel that drives them to your what's next or to you. So you can give away the first one as you can always say that it costs $97 US, but for you today it's free, and you're driving them to the lead. You're collecting the email address. It's more important than anything else, or you ask them for a call to action, which is book a call with you. I know people say websites are dead, and trust me, if I believe that, I wouldn't be doing websites. Websites is your office, your shop, your brochure, your whatever. If you look at any business online and you tell somebody, I want to know what this person does, and you send them to a one-page landing page, you're going to raise questions in the person's mind. By bringing on a full-on website, you're giving value to yourself for one, you're giving more information to the person, and you're creating a business for yourself, or what can I say, a shop that people can walk to and see exactly what you do. People always say, I don't need a website to do this, I don't need a website, but along the way, you'll see that they have a website, or they'll create a website, because they know people are looking and asking, okay, so where are you are in the virtual world at the moment. Think about how you're running your email automations, because that's something important. If somebody buys, what happens then? If somebody doesn't buy, what happens then? If somebody goes to your sales funnel, what happens then? But think about the entire email sequence as well. I know this is a lot to take in, but these are all things that stopped me, or these things I had to do. Then think about how you're going to create your social media ads and your sales videos. Think about all these things that you need to do in order to. It's going to happen when you're going to the next level. You can't jump where you are without having all this in place. So think about all these things. It's not hard to do. Trust me, it is not hard to do. It's very simple to do. Once you have a platform or you have a system in place, all this can be done automatically, and it'll keep rotating. Go on, Jamie.
So all these things that you have listed here,
Yes.
is that the thing that you do for people for 2,997?
Yeah.
Or, okay. But so what if I write all the content and I do all my videos and I edit all my videos and I make all my worksheets and I make all my guides, and you do all the tech stuff like the email automations and
I set up your landing pages and your.
yeah, and the payment gateways.
Yeah.
So is that your middle offer or your high offer, or does it depend? Do you tailor it to
I
whatever?
tailor it to you.
Okay.
So that's the benefit of my business. I can tailor it according to what the client's needs. Okay,
Great.
so a done for you service is slightly different to a full-on group coaching program.
Nice.
Okay, so like I said, Jamie, when you're ready, we can always talk, and you know which way.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing it. I'm working on my course and saving up my money.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, no, definitely. Yours will be a tailor-made package, because if you want to do most of the work, all I have to do is the tech stuff. I'm happy to work with you on that one. No problem.
I can't do the tech stuff. I can't do the simplest tech stuff, so I'm relying on you for that. Thank goodness you're there. Thank God you're there.
I got you on that one. Don't worry. So, any questions on any of this what we spoke about today? Any more questions? I just ignore the guys on YouTube. Let's quickly see what they have to say. Or there's another one asking about the offer. Okay, so because I know you guys, I wasn't bringing the guys. So today I have a fast action bonus. Now this is for the guys on YouTube more than you guys, because you guys are already with me, or you'll have served me. So I've launched a group coaching program, and I have a one-to-one coaching, but the group coaching program that I've launched recently is where I work with you over a period of, I think it's 12 weeks or 16 weeks, where we start at the basics, where we talk about how to get your problems in a clear way. You know, we talk about your messaging, we talk about your niche again, because these are the coaches that already have a one-to-one offer, and they want to take it to the next level, or they want to update it. So I work with them over the period of 16 weeks to go back and look at the offer again before I take them to the next level. So in this offer, I'm teaching them how to clearly solve their problem, or what problem they're going to solve. Because some of the offers, so when I'm working with a coach at the moment, they tell me I'm a coach that is telling people how to find their passion. Now, if I tell somebody that go and find your passion, it's going to be something that you have to think about. You really think about before you understand what's your passion. It could be a passion for your job, your career, family, your partner, whatever it is. But if you're very clear and said, I help you to find your ideal partner, or I help you to find your dream job, you're very clear on what problem you solve. And from that, we create your offer. We're talking about your niche and your messaging. It leads up from this. We tweaking into your niche, where sometimes your niche could be something completely different, and you're talking to the wrong people, the wrong offer. So I have a look at their niche, and we work together, and we create a message that talks to the right niche with the new offers. And then we talk about your transformation story. This is where you tell people, or you teach people how you can. It's not your story now; it's their story. How you're going to transform their lives. And then together, I work with you to create your offers in the 3 different ways that we spoke about. So I work with you to create probably the full high ticket offer, and then I bring it down to your self-study program. So, but I work together to build all with you. And from that there, I teach you the sales basics, because as coaches, you already have sales in place, but I'll teach you what you can do differently, or what you can add on to your business that can drive sales when you create all these 3 offers. And of course, all the stuff that I do on the backend stuff will be included. So whether you choose to work with me on a group coaching or on one-on-one, at some point, you're going to meet me on a one-to-one. I'm going to take over all your content, and I'm going to build it out for you any which way. So the group coaching and the one-to-one might be, price difference is slightly there. You guys, like I say, I'll give you the link now. You can book a call with me, because I will talk to you about what's best for you to handle, whether you go in a group scenario or whether it's on a one-to-one or a personalized package, depending on what you guys want. But this is what I'm doing in the group coaching at the moment. And this is what I'm offering on the one-to-one. On the one-to-one, I will add in more, of course, because there's more deep dive into your offers on this one. This is where I actually physically not just create your offer with you, but we'll test run your offer with you to make sure it's actually working and it's selling before we go out into markets. So that's a whole new different offer on that one. And I'll say that's I'm gonna set my, let's give you a link, guys. You can book a call with me again. So some of you have my links already. Those don't, I'll give you my link to book a call with me. You can copy and paste it or keep it somewhere. If not, you can stop share mode. If not, you guys can always send me an email, or you know how to find me on the website.